Coming up, the Yankees hit 50 wins and Oneil Cruz makes a loud return to the majors. This is Locked On Now MLB.
The biggest games, the best performances, expert analysis. You are Locked On Now.
Welcome in. You're listening to Locked On Now MLB, local experts weighing in on the biggest stories in baseball. I'm your host, Kainani Stevens. Thank you for making Locked On Now your first listen every single weekday. We've got our MLB hosts here to recap everything for you from Monday. The Yankees extended their lead as the best team in baseball with another win in our biggest game.
The biggest game.
The Yankees are the first team to win 50 games this season, doing it in just 67 games, with New York still on an MLB record pace. Our Locked On Yankees host goes over their latest victory.
This is Stacey Gotsoulias of Locked On Yankees, and the Yankees won their 50th game of the season tonight in Tropicana Field against the Rays. It was an eventful game. Garrett Cole had a no-hitter going into the 8th inning. He ended up pitching 7 1/3 innings, gave up 1 run on 1 hit, walked 3, struck out 12. His ERA is now pi, 3.14. Speaking of ERAs, Clay Holmes blew a save, gave up a run. So he ended his scoreless inning streak, blew his first save, and his ERA went from a 0.28 to a 0.55. What are you going to do? But the Yankees ended up winning because thankfully Aaron Hicks had a well-timed triple in the top of the 9th to make it 3-2 Yankees after the Rays tied it up. And then the Yankees went even further ahead 4-2. They held on for the win. Wandy Peralta picked up the save. Jason Adam picked up the loss for the Rays. And the Yankees are back to their winning ways. So again, 50th win, first team to 50, just like everyone expected. We'll have a complete recap of this on the next Locked On Yankees. So tune in.
The Red Sox used some newer faces to beat the Tigers on Monday, and our Locked On Red Sox host tells you the names to know after knocking off Detroit.
If I told you it was going to be Josh Winkowski and Franchi Cordero who were the difference makers in Monday's game against the Tigers, you probably wouldn't believe me. Well, believe me, because that's exactly what happened. Hey, it's Lauren from Locked On Red Sox, and Boston opened the series against the Tigers with a solid win on Monday at Fenway Park. Tanner Houck once again, and for the first time in his career, appeared in back-to-back games, closed out the game, got yet another save. Josh Winkowski pitched into the 7th. Franchi Cordero going 3 for 4. A lot to break down, a lot to take away. I will do all of that for you on Tuesday's episode of Locked On Red Sox.
The Pirates are really hopeful that Oneil Cruz is the future face of this franchise. He made his season debut with a bang yesterday against the Cubs. Locked On Pirates goes over everything Cruz did as Pittsburgh dominated Chicago.
Well, that was fun, wasn't it? What's up, everybody? It's Ethan Smith of the Locked On Pirates podcast. Oneil Cruz makes his 2022 MLB debut. Bly Madris makes his MLB debut. And the Young Bucks are running wild. I mean, wow. 12-1 over the Chicago Cubs at PNC Park tonight. Bly Madris and Oneil Cruz combined for 5 hits and 6 RBIs. Bly Madris becomes the first Pirate since Jason Kendall to have 3 hits in his first MLB game, and things are going crazy. Oneil Cruz had the fastest throw, the fastest hit, and the fastest sprint speed of any Pirate this year through the first 4 innings. Of course, JT Brubaker got lost in the fold a little bit, but he goes 6 scoreless, keeps bringing that ERA down, and the Pirates get a major win over the Chicago Cubs. Oneil Cruz is finally here, and we are going to be talking about him, Bly Madris, the entire team playing well on tomorrow's episode. So with that said, I am your host who does the most, and I will see you guys on the flip side.
Coming up, the White Sox offense gets just enough to hold off the Blue Jays. This is Locked On Now MLB. Today's edition of Locked On Now is brought to you by Built Bar, the best tasting protein bars on the market. They are all made with 100% real chocolate. There's dozens of different flavors. Their newest one, Mud Pie, comes in regular as well as the Puffs bars. Head over to built.com and can use our promo code LOCKED15. Gets you 15% off of your order. Just put in that promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off of your order at built.com. Welcome back to Locked On Now MLB. I'm Kainani Stevens. Thank you for making Locked On Now your first listen every single weekday. Let's continue our look around the league.
Let's go around the league.
The White Sox got Tim Anderson back in the lineup, and Luis Robert hit a home run to help beat the Blue Jays. Locked On White Sox recaps a close win for the Southsiders.
The Chicago White Sox beat the Toronto Blue Jays 8-7 on the south side of Chicago on Monday night. Tim Anderson returned off the IL and had a couple of hits. White Sox sent Yoan Moncada on the 10-day IL. Lance Lynn made his second start of the season, his first start at home. He was serviceable, needed some help from the bullpen to quiet a very potent Toronto Blue Jays offense. Andrew Vaughn with 4 hits and a home run. Josh Harrison and Luis Robert also had home runs. Sox were swept by the Blue Jays in early June, so nice to see the Sox get a win. They go for 2 in a row tomorrow with Dylan Cease on the hill.
The Angels got a good start out of Noah Syndergaard on the mound, but he couldn't keep the game close as the arm started to wear down late. Our Locked On Angels host goes over how Kansas City pulled away against the LA Angels.
The Angels begin a new series, 3 games against the Kansas City Royals on Monday night, and they start with a loss. Hey everybody, my name's Mike Frisch, one half of Locked On Angels, and it looked hopeful for us. Noah Syndergaard was on the mound, pitched really well, made it to the 8th inning, which is remarkable for Angel starting pitchers, but he struggled in that inning, gave up a 2-run home run to Salvador Perez, and the Angels lose 6-2 to kick off this homestand. But it's just one loss, and we're hopeful that we can take the next 2 games. At least we're keeping our fingers crossed, because this team looks a little different than the team that lost 14 in a row. Reed Detmers is on the mound on Tuesday, and Shohei Ohtani is on the mound on Wednesday, and we're going to talk all about it on Locked On Angels.
The Giants had a chance to knock off the reigning world champions in their ballpark on Monday, but just couldn't cash in on opportunities on offense. Locked On Giants tells you how San Francisco let that opportunity slip away.
Super frustrating loss for the San Francisco Giants tonight. They only score 1 run despite having a couple of huge late opportunities. Ben Kaspick with the Locked On Giants podcast. Starting pitcher for the Braves, Max Fried, was really good. He held them down the entire game, but the Giants finally got something going late. They ended up loading the bases with nobody out, and they only got 1 run out of that situation. And then in the 9th inning, against Kenley Jansen, they had 2nd and 3rd with 1 out, and they couldn't push a run across. And so ultimately that's what did the Giants in. Logan Webb was fantastic. Camilo Doval gave up a run in the bottom of the 9th. But you have to capitalize on those opportunities if you're going to win a game on the road against a good team, and the Giants simply were not able to get it done tonight. So they'll look to bounce back tomorrow. That's the thing about baseball. There's always another opportunity the next day, and you really don't know what's going to happen. So a tough loss, but time to turn the page. But we'll break it all down tomorrow on Locked On Giants, where it's your team every day.
That's it for today on Locked On Now MLB. Thank you for making Locked On Now your first listen every single weekday. Make sure you check out Locked On MLB and your team's Locked On podcast. I'm Kainani Stevens. This has been Locked On Now.